Thank you so much for joining me for I'm Making a Monster. We played a demo of this during Next Fest, and it had a release today, and thank you to the game dev so kindly for inviting me to play. It is a narrative game, so you're going to be hearing me doing quite a bit of reading. Depending on how long the game is, I do tend to keep narrative games much shorter per episode, only because it's easier on my voice, just so that you are aware. And let's hit start. We're gonna do she, her, and we'll do Melanie Sonic, so that just sounds fun. All right. Melody Sonnet has been shut in her room for a month. She has not eaten a proper meal in more than a week. She has only drunk water under extreme duress. Today, Melody opens the door to her room of her own volition, an occurrence her friends will be equally excited and nervous about, and stumbles from its dark depths with a dehydrated wobble to her step. Fumbling for some scrap paper and tearing the lid off a pen, Melody drops onto a stool and begins to sketch. Fervor and ink splatter onto the page after page in unsteady strokes. Hours later, after many hours during which friends come over and find Melody, are relieved to see her out of her room, and they're distraught again to find Melody unable to tear herself from work. Melody holds up a final page of formulas and diagrams. Exclaim in triumph or wallow in despair. I'm going to do exclaim in triumph. Yes, she says. It can be done! Melody almost bounces up from the stool, but she lacks the energy or coordination, and instead she settles for lifting the page up, beaming at her work. What can be done? Melody jumps at the sound, almost falling over in the process. She had not noticed that a friend had crept into her kitchen while she worked. Abella leans out from the doorway, mixing bowl in hand, trying to hide her worry behind a smile. Melody does not try to hide her rising excitement. Oh, Abella, she says, I'm going to make something unlike anything I've ever made. Abella continues stirring, waiting. She has played this game before. Make something beautiful? I'm making, Melody continues, something beautiful. Abella raises an eyebrow. Tell her the truth. I'm making a monster. Abella nods, trying to hide her mounting concern. She leaves shortly after that, depositing a salad Melody promised to eat onto her work table. Eat some salad. Melody pauses her work to swallow a few bits of salad. She's not sure if she's eaten anything else today. It is hard to pull herself from the work, but she realizes that she needs food or she will lack the strength to complete it. After eating more salad, she examines her plans. Creating a living being is an exhaustingly complex venture, but Melody is nothing if not tenacious. She pursued her lifeless exile with the same resolve she now turns to her work. Nothing will make Melody waver in this task. She is making a monster. But where to start? A monster needs many parts. The skeleton. It's always safe to start with the base. Melody pulls out her notes on forming the monster's bones. She considers the best way to build the monster's bones. Necromancy, plant magic, or mechatronics. I'm gonna go with plant magic. And by the way, I'm walking into this blind. I don't know what's happening. But we'll go with plant magic. Using plant magic to make a monster skeleton could work. A skeleton of living wood could be supple and strong. Yes, it could work quite nicely. Now, just determine how to acquire plants with the properties you need. Grow the wood. With enough time and effort, Melody can work out a way of accelerating plant growth to cultivate an entire living skeleton. It will be slower than finding wood to use, but Melody can ensure quality is up to her precise standards. She estimates that it would take her 5 months to complete. After a month of work, Abella visits again. She wearily looks around the lab Melody has set up. So, how is the monster coming along? It's going well. Oh, it's going quite well. I'm making excellent progress on the monster's bones. I see, says Abella, fighting to maintain a neutral tone. She takes a breath. It's warm out today. How about we go for a walk? I'm gonna say go for a walk. I would think someone who's this clever would be good at maintaining a falsehood of normalcy. Yeah, oh, okay, Melody says, standing from her stool. Let me grab a coat. You don't need a coat. It's June. Melody looks over from the closet she was rustling in. She furrows her brows. June? Mm-hmm. It's probably for the best that Melody is leaving the apartment. Abella brings Melody to a park she used to frequent before. Well before. She was right. The weather is gorgeous. A warm breeze ruffles through the tree canopy that frames that worn path the two walk along. Melody and Abella catch up on the small things. Max has developed a spell to remove excess earwax. Corey has joined a jazz band. Melody slowly realizes that she misses her friends. Ask to meet again? This is really nice, Abella. Thanks for dragging me outside. Would it be alright if we did something like this again? A huge grin breaks across Abella's face. Of course! I'll see you soon. Melody is into the second month of her work when she hits a snag. The wooden bones aren't connecting as planned. She'll need to figure out a new strategy for attaching them. This will add a month to her work estimate. After a month, Melody is in the middle of some complicated calculations when Corey bounds through her front door, unannounced. Maybe Melody should start logging it. You coming to the concert? Corey asks. What concert? She replies, barely looking up from her work. Oh, come on, Corey groans. I joined a jazz band. We're doing a midsummer performance. Any of this ringing any bells? Be honest. Not in the least. Sorry? Corey sighs loudly. We're performing July 21st. Here's the ticket. A small rectangular sheet is dropped onto Melody's desk. See you there? Go to the concert. Definitely, she exclaims. Definitely. She examines the page. She can take some time off to support her friend. Sweet. I'll see you then. On the 29th, Melody arrives at the concert exactly 5 minutes early. Her ticket has an assigned seat, and she is surprised to find that she's in the front row. Abella and Max are already there waiting. They smile when they see Melody approach. Corey was worried you wouldn't show, but I knew you'd make time, she confides. Of course she'd show up. There was no uncertainty in my decision. This is important to Corey. I think it was just because you've been a bit absent lately, Max exclaims. And at that, Melody falls silent. Well, it's great to see you here, Max says with a smile. The concert is fun. The music is a bit loud at times. Isn't jazz supposed to be soothing? But Melody appreciates its energy. Corey looks like he's having an amazing time. And she can't remember when Corey started learning the bass. Was it during... Well, maybe Melody will ask Abella about it later. After the show, the three friends and Melody go back to Max's to celebrate. Melody is surprised to learn Max moved apartments. When did that happen? Maybe she has been a little overly engrossed in her work. She promises herself to make more of an effort to spend time with her friends. After a week of struggling with the new flowering plant graft, Melody finally gets parts of the skeleton working to her satisfaction. She turns to share the breakthrough with... But the lab is empty. She is still alone. One morning, Melody is distracted by a knock at the door. This is odd because most of her friends don't bother knocking. Tentatively, interest drawn by the mystery, she crosses the room and cracks it open. Standing at her threshold is Luxme, a friend Melody hasn't seen in more than a year. She smiles at Melody a bit nervously. Hi, she says. Do you have a minute? Invite her in? Of course. Please, come in. Melody steps aside, motioning her forwards. Oh, no need, she says. I just stopped by to see if you're free tonight. I'm showing in an art exhibition and wanted to ask if you could make it. Her eyes are hopeful. Agree. That sounds really fun. I'd love to come by and see your work. She smiles, largely. Amazing! Here's an invitation. She hands her a small card. She raises an eyebrow. Very fancy, she teases. Lugsby smiles, a bit embarrassed. I'll see you then, she says. The exhibition is very cool, if not a bit too formal for Melody's taste. Several artists are being featured. Lugsby's work is a collection of wire statues that move subtly when they're not being watched. It's gorgeously terrifying. Melody spots Abella and Corey, and the three of them walk around, commenting on different pieces and despairing over their prices. Hey, I'm happy to see you outside your lab, Abella says, as the night winds to an end. See you again? Corey asks. Agree. Absolutely. I'll see you soon, Melody says with a smile. She feels both happy and worried to see how much this pleases her friends. There are 3 months left in the building, the wooden skeleton. Melody feels that she is on a roll, all the theory and actualizing with an ease that is relieving, unexpected, and entirely pleasing. Melody realizes that she is ahead of schedule. She can reduce her work estimate by a month. One day, Melody looks up from her work to see Abella walking in. She looks at the bones that she's almost finished and immediately looks away. She turns her gaze instead to Melody. It's the last warm day of the year, she says. Come to the beach with me. Go to the beach. As long as we stop at my favorite cheese shop on the way, Melody says, getting up from her seat. Deal, she's replied with a smile. After stopping at the cheese shop to pick up some things to snack on, Melody and Abella walk along the beach. There's a cool breeze coming off the water, and after a bit, they find some large flat rocks to sit on. How are you doing, Melody? Oh, this is my first one where I'm not so sure what I want to say. Respond genuinely, tell her what she wants to hear, and shift the focus to Abella instead. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shift the focus to Abella instead. Things have been well. I'm a lot more interested in how you're doing, though. She launches into a few anecdotes about work and other friends. Melody listens and nods along with a smile. Work continues with its usual ups and downs, but Melody can tell the end is in sight. Anticipation rises as she visualizes the remaining skeleton parts coming together. Melody is working late one night, or is it early one morning, when Max comes barging through her front door. Hello, he says. I need help with some work that got your name on it. Ask him to explain. With great pain, Melody tears her eyes from the diagram she's halfway through drawing. What is it? I'm going to make the best haunted house this world has ever seen, Max declares loudly. Ready to hear more? I'm listening, but that doesn't mean I'm agreeing to anything. Okay, wait. Let me back up. So, haunted house. What do all haunted houses need? Yes. Ghosts? No, wrong! Haunted houses need skeletons, Max exclaims joyfully. And you know who can make skeletons? Let Max finish. Melody sighs. That's right, you can make skeletons. Or at least make them move. Actually, I don't know. Can you make or move skeletons? Emit bone control proficiency. I have dabbled in necromancy in the past. Max beams. See, I knew you'd be perfect for the job. Agree to help. Okay, Melody concedes. I'll help you with your haunted house skeletons. A huge smile spreads across Max's face. I promise you won't regret it. After a few weeks of work on the synthetic skeletons, which Melody actually finds somewhat enlightening and decides to bring concepts from it into her own monster crafting, the haunted house is ready. Melody and Max hide and watch customers scream as they realize the skeletons are moving towards them without strings. The dancing skeleton who offers a waltz is Melody's favorite. Max likes the one who walks along the ceiling and chatters its teeth. All of Max's co-workers are duly impressed, and Melody is invited to their dinner to celebrate the haunted house's success. It's a really fun evening that feels well earned. After 5 months, Melody has finally completed the monster's bones. A small thrill flows through her. She steps back and examines her work. Yes, it's definitely something beautiful. But her growing smile falters in the face of a startling thought. Would she have liked it? Yes, of course. Yes, of course she would have liked it. She would have found it beautiful, fascinating, breathtaking. She may have even loved it. She returns to her notes, and she needs to decide which part of the monster to construct next. The nervous system. After completing the bones, a brain and a nervous system will allow the monster to move and think. Melody should make it next to ensure it interfaces well with the rest of the body. She ponders what the best material is for the task. Okay, again, we got necromancy, we got plant magic, or we get mechatronics. Partly I want to go mechatronics, but I also think I should stick with plant magic. There's something kind of fun about the thought of mech messing or being joined with plant. I'm going to do that. Let's just do it. An inorganic computer brain would grant versatility and durability. It is also probably the most straightforward option. Finding computer parts to use could pose a challenge, though. Build the computer parts. Melody has never built a supercomputer and equipped it with an adequately sophisticated neural sim before, but she's played around with complex, smaller scope computer projects. And as her teacher used to say, anything is possible with a little, or a shit ton, of magic. It'll take more time than finding a suitable computer parts and code bases, but means Melody won't need to compromise on her design. Overall, she estimates it would take her 6 months to complete the work. Corey drops by one November afternoon and deposits a cookie on Melody's desk. "You make this?" she asks. Corey nods, and she snatches it up and begins untying the loose wrapping. "There's more where that came from," Corey laughs. "Oh?" she asks between a mouthful of cookie. "We're hanging out at Abella's tonight, and I'm bringing 2 boxes worth." Fall into the cookie temptation. "Is that an invitation?" Corey smiles. "Do you want the cookies or not?" "Absolutely, I want the cookies." Corey's smile widens a few notches. "I'll see you tonight, then." She arrives at Abella's apartment that evening. She hesitates for a moment. She hasn't been here since before. She reminds herself that cookies are waiting on the other side of the door and knocks. Abella opens the door with a smile. "I'm so glad you made it," she says. Abella's apartment looks the same as Melody remembers. As she walks further in, she sees Corey and Max already settled in the living room. The promised cookies are laid out on a coffee table. She spends some time cautiously discussing how things have been. She tries not to say too much about the monster. It's not too hard when she keeps grabbing more cookies. Max eventually suggests starting a movie, and Melody glances at the time. We're gonna stay for the movie. She settles in to rewatch one of Abella's favorite movies. She feels herself relaxing by fragments as each minute passes. Corey and Max argue over plot holes and continuity errors while Abella hushes them during her favorite scenes. It all feels so warm and familiar, and it stirs an ache in her heart. There's too much missing from this picture for it to feel complete, but maybe this is what it feels like to pour paint over an old canvas and create something new. Melody hits a breakthrough in her work. The computer's pattern recognition is progressing far above expectations, as are the sensors aiding the peripheral nervous system's response times. The advances put her about a month ahead of schedule. Melody is ecstatic. Before Melody realizes it, the year is over. It's been almost 9 months since She examines the letter in her hand. It's from Abella. She's inviting her to a New Year's party she's hosting. Behind the open letter, a huge pile of work on her desk looms. She had hoped to finish prototyping a new design for a connecting piece this week. Go to the pile, or that pile isn't going to look after itself. I'm going to go to the pile. Melody has been working diligently, keeping long hours and taking little time to rest. She can spare the time for a break this evening. She calls up Abella to let her know she'll be able to make it. She sounds very pleased, and it makes Melody smile. She arrives at Abella's party in fancy clothes that pinch a little. She opens the door with a huge grin, and Melody promptly shoves a bottle of champagne in her face. Thanks for inviting me, she says. Of course, thank you for coming. She takes the champagne and then Melody's coat, showing her inside. What follows is a fun night of reminiscing and declaring next year's promises. The only awkward moment is when someone who's friends of a friend of Melody's mentions Delaney. The room falls silent briefly as someone else pulls this friend of a friend away. Melody can very clearly hear them having a terse conversation about not mentioning her in Melody's presence. Melody resolutely ignores this. Soon after, she notices Max and Abella watching her like she might break into a million pieces. She also resolutely ignores this. Tori comes over with a fresh glass of champagne, and they all toast to a friendship, and everything is fine after that. Or at least, that's what she tells herself. The room counts down to midnight and erupts in cheers and hugs. She sends sparks flying over the champagne flutes, much to the party's enjoyment and Abella's nervousness. She double-checked with Melody that it was safe to drink at least a dozen times before letting her guests toast. After midnight, many of the guests begin their goodbyes and head home. The party slowly grows quieter and warmer. Talk to Max. Melody finds Max in the living room. She found reruns of a ghost cupcake making show on a previous decade. Sit down and watch for a bit. She sits down next to Max. Her eyes don't move from the screen, but she smiles. Glad you joined, she says. This is my favorite episode. The bakers need to work with the ghost to make a cupcake tower themed around true love. After 20 tumultuous minutes of batter baking, drop trays and bowls, overheated icing and cupcake baking and cooling, icing application, and one of the bakers falling in love with a ghost, the episode's credit rolls over the screen. Amazing, right? Yeah, that was fun. I can't believe how long it's been since I last watched these. I'm happy you liked it, Max says with a grin. And then she pauses, her face growing serious. Hey, Melody, I know you've been super busy lately with your project, whatever, but I really like spending time with you. I want to do more things together. Or, if you don't have time, maybe I can just sit with you while you're working some days? I just want to see that you are okay. I just want to see you more, if that's okay. Explainably different once the work is done. I know I've been busy lately, but once the work is done, there'll be lots of time for us to hang out. I'll be 100% available. It's just been hard. I miss you, and I miss spending time with you. Feels like you're drifting away, and there's nothing I can do to hold you here. Oh, this is a hard one. I'm another out of... agree to make more time for Max. I'm gonna agree to say to make more time for Max. I'm sorry that I've hurt you. I promise to make more time to hang out. I really like spending time with you, too. Max grins. I really appreciate it. After wrapping up her conversation with Max, Melody chats with a few more friends. Some silly party games are played, and Melody finds herself laughing more than she has in a long time. A few hours after, Melody says her goodbyes and heads home. It's quite a bit later than she expected to be out, but somehow she can't find the energy to be anxious about it. It was nice seeing her friends. The warmth of that feeling follows her home. She is surprised at how easily everything is coming along. The work is less tiring than usual, and it feels like Melody could spare some energy for her other activities without worrying about it running out. On January 14th, Melody realizes it's Bella's birthday tomorrow. She glances over at her phone. It's probably not too late to make plans. Try to put something together last minute. She opens her phone and calls Max. A picks up on the second ring. Am I dead, or is this not a call from the renowned hermit, Melody Sonnet? Make a sarcastic joke. No, this is your landlord. I'm kicking you out in order to fill your place with rubber ducks. The monarch of humor returns at last, cries Max. Yes, thank you. Jokes aside, I'm calling about Bella's birthday. The very birthday that is in fact tomorrow? Max replies. Yes, that one. Well, we're in luck, because I already made all the plans. We're meeting at Corey's tomorrow at 2. She proceeds to list a series of events that Melody realizes will take up the entire rest of her afternoon and evening. Agree to the whole event. Sounds great. I'll be there. Amazing! Bella will be so happy you could make it. Melody can hear the smile through the phone. There's a few typos here and there that's been throwing me off a little bit, but we're going to let it slide. Melody has had a really enjoyable afternoon with her friends. They play some party games at Corey's and then go see a movie. There are too many aliens, and there are laser beams in the film for Melody's liking, but Bella loves it. The evening concludes with a visit to Bella's favorite restaurant. She finds herself smiling and laughing more than she has in a long time. At the end of the evening, Bella gives Melody a huge hug. Thank you so much for coming. It really means a lot to me. When Melody gets home, the scattered pieces of the monster are waiting for her. Guilt rises, sudden and overwhelming. How could she be out for so long and just left her like this? She gazes at her part-made form and, as a sinner before her God, promised to do better. And yet, a small part of her starts to wonder if maybe she's already giving enough. Okay, voice is given out. I will be back, I promise. We're going to pick up where I left off in the next episode.